You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast, episode 29. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, Nightcrawler, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. It is going well. I am excited to talk about Smash and all that fun stuff. Before we do, if you want to go to audibletrial.com/SBC, you can get yourself a free audiobook of your choice. Check out something awesome like Console Wars. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. This gaming chair that I love. I'm getting a desk soon. Oh, I'm pretty excited about that. You go to n64josh.com/OP Seat. You automatically save $10 at checkout. Go check them out. You got all kinds of color choices. You'll dig it, I promise. We do this show live at twitch.tv/N64Josh, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Friday. Every Friday. So, with that, let's get to our countdown to Smash. All right, how many days?
All right, today is October 5th, and we are 62 days and change away from Smash, and we're getting closer because you'll be able to get it at midnight, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, if you go to the right locations, I guess, or if you're lucky enough to have your store.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, as far as Smash news, guys, it's been kind of a slow week. Like, there's been nothing from Nintendo about Smash. Like, we've kind of been given all the details. They've been going strong, going city to city with the Best Buy deal and with the to the college games. So people are getting their hands on Ultimate that way. There is a tournament going on this weekend. Big House is happening right now. So if you want to check out now through Sunday, I believe, I have a link to the schedule. You can go see some high-level play. We were just watching before the show, and we just watched a guy. Do you remember his name?
I have it up here. Black Twins 13. Apparently second best Mario player in Canada, behind Ally.
Plays with a Wiimote and nunchuck.
We couldn't believe it when we were watching the stream. We're like, does he just have a Wiimote in his hand? And then we saw the nunchuck, but he just sitting back in his chair. He wasn't leaning forward or anything, just taking care of business with a Wiimote and nunchuck. So, yeah. Controllers can be anything you want them to be, I guess. Pokeball Plus for Smash, I guess. We'll see it.
That's what I'm going with. That's going to be my main controller for sure. So, yeah, crazy stuff going on. Vicky Kitty, who was on a few episodes ago, she is playing and casting. So if you want to be able to catch some of her commentating, she'll be. We doing
just
that.
Missed it too when we pulled it up the stream.
She was playing, I believe. I think she was playing. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's happening. That's happening this week. We'll have all the results and everything for you guys next week. And then Best Buy is doing midnight launches, which this is not like. Wow, really? I'm so surprised, right? But it is happening. Sometimes they don't. You want to check with your local store. Make sure it says check the website to see if your store will be open. It all depends on pre-orders.
It's a little confusing. I've been on the site a little bit checking. I'm not sure if it's supposed to say on each store's individual landing page when you click it if they're doing it, or if it's just everyone that's in the dropdown. I don't know if you go to the page and you go to your state and you look for your store, if you know kind of what its subname is, because sometimes they're not named kind of what you think they'd be named. Like my closest one that I do everything is like Southeast for Denver. But if it's in the drop-down menu, I don't know if it means it's doing it or if it's just all the stores are there and then you have to kind of figure it out where it is. But it's kind of not super clear, but it's there on Best Buy's page to kind of check it out. It's under like game special events if you go search their main page for that.
Let's see. Mr. Cool Red Luigi says, so will download codes from the system bundle be active at midnight? I'm
going to say based on Mario Party last night, it will be midnight Eastern is when everything will unlock. The reason they wanted to have the bundle come out on November 2nd was to give people time, and we're assuming for a Smash test as well, but also just to have that preload because as we've confirmed, I think a while ago, it's 16 gigs at least, and that's, I think, probably pre-patch, so maybe a little bit more. So get all of that downloaded onto the system and ready to go. So it'll just do usually it just does an internet check and checks the key to make sure it's good to go on the internet, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
And I believe Super Nintendo was playing Mario Party last night at midnight Eastern. So I believe first parties will be active at that time.
Should be the case. I think that's typically the case. So fingers crossed. All right. Well, let's get to the Smash Bros. Blog, starting with Cap'n from Animal Crossing, his Sis Trophy. He's driving his bus, so watch out, all right? It says when Cap'n takes the stage, he hops on a bus and drives around the stage. Careful, when he hits a fighter, he'll carry them off the stage in his bus.
Yeah, can you mash out of it? Who knows? I don't even know about that. Know. I'd hope you can.
He's probably going to pull you inside, and you're going to have a conversation with Rover all the way to your death. That's what's going to happen. So, next up, who do we got?
We have Sheik, fighter number 16. Now Sheik joins the battle wearing the Sheikah costume from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Keep the pressure on your opponent by using his speedy dash to quickly close in on or get away from your opponent. Is it weird that they call Sheik he?
I'm glad that you asked that, because I was like, it's a he?
Spoiler? I don't know. I think the statute of limitations is up on that one, but
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Even chat says very weird, so that's good. Like, I always assumed Sheik was a female character, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Well, anyway, today's music. You can now listen to Afternoon on the Island from Tamagotchi Life. Does it remind you of carefree island life or the various confessions of love you receive there? Enjoy Masafumi Takada's arrangement. Here we go. We're going to go check out the Afternoon on the Island. Here it is, right here. Man, oh man, every week these just they're so great. They are so great, man. I really enjoy all the music. And I mean, don't we have like what they say 28 hours of music and sound effects and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think you can almost drive across the country
just
listening to it if you want to.
I love it. I can't wait to make my Switch the most awkward MP3 player of all time and have it melt inside my fanny pack because it overheats while trying to listen to.
It's a big fanny pack. You got to get that. I think wasn't there some kind of somebody posted in the Discord? I think some kind of special Switch bag that was being made on Kickstarter or something like that. So you could wear that man purse like that.
Hopefully, it has a headphone jack. You know. All right. Next up, what do we got here, Chief?
Saffron City, which I have played on, and it was very nice. Stage based on Saffron City from Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. Pokemon appear from the doorway of the building at the center of the stage. Watch out when Electrode appears, because he blows up.
Gotcha.
I ad-libbed that last little bit there.
You did. That was good. Good job.
Yeah.
I liked it. So it looks like there's a some kind of flower dinosaur shooting Rosalina in the picture here, but it's all pixelated. It looks like 16-bit almost.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because it was so quick and so frantic when I was playing on it this weekend. I don't remember the Pokemon coming out being pixelated, but I don't know. That could have just been the craziness of it all. Maybe I missed it.
Could be. Could be. All right, next up, we have today's fighter, Fox. He can overwhelm his opponents with quick movements, and his specials don't leave him open for counterattacks. His costume and voice have been redone to match his appearance in Star Fox Zero, which we all kind of want to forget about, so I don't know why they're they're pushing that so hard. This Fox is brand new. Come on. I mean, Star Fox Zero was such a great title, you know. Like,
yeah, they could amend that really quickly and just be like, it's based off Battle for Atlas Star Fox.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. Next up, it's today's flashback. This
is new, and it was the same day that Fox came out.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and read what it says.
Yeah, so he made his. So this is talking about Fox. He made his first appearance in Star Fox, released in 1993. Fox is the leader of the mercenary group Star Fox. He cares about his team and has a strong sense of justice. Fun fact: Star Fox was the first game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System that featured 3D graphics. 3D, because it was rough back then.
Mode 7, baby.
Revisiting that on the classic was it's rough to go back to.
All right. Last but not least, our Pokemon. Our Pokemon. It looks like a dead Pikachu. It looks like his name is Mimikyu. I could be saying it wrong. If I did, I'm sorry, guys. This isn't my strong suit. But Mimikyu drags a nearby opponent under its rag and attacks them. The opponent cannot move while captured by Mimikyu, and if they end up with more than 100% damage after the attack, they'll instantly be KO'd. Instantly. So there you go. It's very spooky Pokemon. So. That's everything from the Smash blog this week. You got to go hands-on with Ultimate on Sunday.
I went on Sunday in the Denver area. So yeah, I went. They had events, I believe in Denver and Atlanta last weekend, and then you're going to get to go this weekend. I don't know where the other location is that they're doing besides Seattle.
New York.
Yeah, I got to go.
They're doing New York.
Again? Oh, okay, that's good.
Well, I think so. I saw a tweet
or is it maybe upstate or something like that? Maybe away from the city?
I'm not really sure, but I believe I saw a tweet from those two that do the
oh yeah,
Nintendo
I saw that
Minute?
tweet too. The YouTube people from
Nintendo.
The official Nintendo Minute. I think it's Nintendo Minute. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing at Nintendo New York. So.
And then, Super Nintendo says he thought it was Miami this weekend. So maybe somebody in chat can look it up for us real quick. So we can.
I think Miami is the other Best Buy event, and then Nintendo's doing one at the store.
Okay, gotcha.
In New York.
Gotcha.
So it was fun. The event started at 11. I got there by like 10:30, and the line was already wrapped around the front of the store, around the side. It was only about halfway down the building, so I was able to get in line, and we kind of just hung out for a little bit, and then they came out and handed out promotional material, kind of letting you know that you got the coin if you pre-ordered at Best Buy, and what other games for Switch, because nobody that is diehard enough to go out and wait in line to play a game that comes out in a month and a half or 2 months doesn't know what other Switch games are coming out, I guess. But they had all that there, and then there was a tent set up that you could scan your My Nintendo Rewards QR code to get this fantastic Battlefield poster. Can you guys all see it?
There you go. Hold it up a little higher. Yeah.
So that was that, and then so they kind of just minimized the line inside the store, so they took us in like 16 or so people at a time, and then continue to wait in line. You could watch a few people playing. They had a grand total, I believe, of 6 stations. Yeah, 6 stations, and 2 of those were kind of reserved for exhibition, which they handed out bracelets, different colored bracelets that they then took from you when you were playing your exhibition, but it was kind of just for time purposes to kind of make sure people were staggering in. It was kind of controlled in that sense there. that was kind of the tournament that you would fight in to try to get the Smash Bros hat that Josh is gonna try to go for here this weekend.
I gotta have it.
But yeah, so I went through the line twice, so I got a grand total of 6 games in, and 4 of those were kind of for fun. So I started off. I'm going off memory here because I meant to write this stuff down, but I went off. I played Corrin, my main, first, and I actually got to select the stage, and I picked Great Plateau. So we did that, and then I picked Inkling for my second game, and we played on DK Falls, and that was really beautiful stage. The updated graphics for that one is really fun. So yeah, that was the first cycle through, and then the next cycle I played Ganondorf, and he is a lot faster and it feels different with him now. I don't know if I actually did any moves that brought out the sword. It was very different holding a pro controller, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I feel like I had a little bit of an influence on. It was kind of by committee we were talking, but first time seeing Spirit Tracks on a home console, because I'm pretty sure that was a DS exclusive map or stage.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
On 3DS. And that right hand side of the stage is just death wrapped up in a pretty bow, because you touch those train tracks and you are gone. There's no coming back from that. So I died a few times that way. That stage is surprisingly small for how much it changes and kind of moves around with the different ways the train morphs. But that was fun playing that. And then the second time for fun was Ridley on Saffron City, and again that was pretty crazy. I think on that stage, I hit a fake smash ball, and I think I was maybe the one that destroyed it, and I think it killed like 3 of us that were on the stage. So those once I realized that you kind of forget that we talked about those fake smash balls being introduced, right. And when you see a smash ball, everyone's kind of going for it, and you have to stop and think about it especially after that first time we saw it. It was definitely more in tune to looking at the lines on the smash ball, because I think there was one stage, I don't know if it was one of the ones that I was doing for the exhibition or if it was something else, but at one point I think there were 3 smash balls just floating around in the air. 1 was real and 2 were fake, and it can just get pretty hectic. So that was my for fun game. So I played the 2 new characters that they had available, so Inkling and Ridley, and then got to play a character that they had changed a little bit. I didn't touch Link, because I think that's another significant change from what they've been in the past. But getting to play Ganondorf a little bit, and just that heavy fighter that I've never really been a big fan of, I think can be viable in this version of the game, just because of movement speed and how everyone is kind of, I don't know how balancing is going to work, because everyone seems like they're fast. I mean, the fast characters are especially fast and almost feels out of control fast, but I think we're going to adjust. But it's that I think a lot of people are put off by heavyweights just because of movement speed, and now I feel like maybe people that hadn't been inclined to try out a Bowser or a Ganondorf or seen Ridley and was kind of unsure, I think the speed is going to be a non-issue, because everyone's fast. So that was fun. And then, so as soon as I finished that second go round, it was my time for exhibition. So I went and got in line, and they were kind of vague on how they described how it was going to go. I knew that you were fighting free for all to try to win, to then go play a 1v1 for the hat. And they talked about how, like, very quickly they were like, oh yeah, this first one's just for fun, and I kind of had glanced over that. That was the one free for all I won, and I played both of the exhibition matches as Corrin, just because it was something I was comfortable with, and was able to kind of hoard a lot of Pokeballs and get a decent amount of, I guess I had enough eliminations to win that one. So I won the one that didn't count. And then when the for real match came up, I don't know what the place that I took was, but the Cloud, the guy playing next to me, ended up winning. So the area was so tight that I didn't really get to stick around and see how he did against somebody else. But yeah, so that was my experience. I got 3 matches with Corrin, and then a match with Ganondorf, Ridley, and Inkling. And kind of how you described Inkling after playing at PAX is exactly how I kind of interpreted Inkling as well. It's fast, fluid, moves like Fox a little bit. Aerial moves are pretty strong. Like you bring out the brush. I don't know if I did any strong. I don't know if I really remember walking around or painting anybody with ink a whole lot, just because it was so chaotic. And the map, the stage I was playing on was DK Falls, so it's kind of small platforms, and especially at the bottom of that stage is just, there are pitfalls to fall into, so there wasn't like a good sturdy stage to coat and paint and try to have that move speed to kind of get that buff from. But that up B move is interesting. It's like a Inkling super jump that you kind of shoot up in the air, and it's fun to move around that way.
Yeah, like you basically experienced it like I did at PAX. Your lines are probably a little less like chaotic, but
I didn't have to pace back and forth.
Yeah, you'd have to pace back and forth to try to get in line. It's so bizarre. The thing is, I'm kind of jealous of all these people that are getting to play at these tournaments, because those are like being set up like 1v1s, right?
Oh, they are. Like, yeah. Well, I mean, because I think they have a lot more time.
Yeah.
Because I know at Big House right now, like when we were watching the tournament on Big House, somebody in the chat on the tournament was like, "Look how nobody is in the arena watching the play. They're all in line playing Ultimate." Because I mean, why not? If you're there and it's there to play. So I'm wondering if they are setting time limits on when Ultimate is available at these shows, or at the tournaments, or if they're just, it's open while the doors are open. They're just playing, but if there's less people that are actually there, then they're probably getting to play around a whole lot more with combos and 1v1s and see different stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say, like, follow a handful of people that you know are there. You know, some of the pros and stuff that you know are there, and they'll end up tweeting out like videos and things, like, you know, to get a little more info about the game and what might combo and things like that. So, but it is completely, it's just chaos, right? The game is so fast, and it's almost hard to try to get a feel for a character, because you're spending, I feel like I was spending a lot of time just trying to see where I was, and like, it's hectic.
Launch speed is one of the biggest things. Like you go from 0 to 100 on your launch, and you move off in a trail of smoke, but then you slow down 100 to 0, and you're just up in the air, and then you have to find yourself. And so it's kind of, it gives you that opportunity to kind of realize where you were. I was way off stage on Great Plateau multiple times, and you kind of just have that opportunity to float back in. Recovery seemed a little bit easier, but maybe that's only because launch speed is just so insane, and then it gives you that opportunity to react a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely fast, man. And like the Great Plateau, when I did it too with that tower there, I'm like, I can't even see where.
Oh yeah, it's very chaotic.
Where I'm at, like I couldn't see anything for, you know.
Well, because the foreground of the support structure of like the dome of the plateau, or the I forget what they're even called, just
like
the tower,
the lookout tower.
Yeah. The foreground of it, sometimes you walk behind it, so
exactly
it obstructs your view until you destroy it. But then it does it. I think it creates a platform, like a pass through platform that are pretty standard in the Smash Bros stages, for like the temporary time that the dome is not back up. But then it will then kind of recon together, and then it's a good spot to practice teching, I guess, once you get going on it.
Right. So, any other major takeaways from the game? Like, what was the just the response from the people? Like, was there pretty good energy? Were people pretty hyped, or was, you know, everybody pretty reserved? What?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a fair amount of people that were fairly casual. I think that were aware of the game and excited for it. But then there were the people that I've been able to recognize from posts in the Facebook group, the local Facebook group, that I've been following for a while that I haven't managed to make it to a local yet, but I was able to see some of the people that I was standing in line with that had posted. Like one guy, a couple people in front of me had been on Saturday and won a hat, and then he won a second hat, and he was walking out like Sherlock Holmes with one forward, one back, and I mean, just there. And then there was another guy, I think that they were all kind of friends. I saw him walk out, and he had, I think, I got 6 sets of buttons. So they were giving out buttons. So it's got the Smash icon, and then Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, just these buttons that are pretty cool. But they were handing those out every single time you played a match. So I ended up getting 3 sets. Gave one to my son, which he ripped into right away, and I don't know where they are. But then I have two that are sitting over here with me. But this guy that walked out at one point, I think he'd been obviously on Saturday as well, but he'd also been going with his girlfriend, and he had like buttons just up and down his shirt, either side. He must have had like 12 sets of buttons. So
that's funny.
quite a bit.
Funny. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to be in Bellevue tomorrow. As of recording this, we're recording on Friday, so it'll be Saturday. I will be at the Bellevue Best Buy playing Smash. If you are hearing this and you're going to be there, make sure to say hi. Like, I want to shake your hand. You know, maybe we could play in Smash on DS. I'll have that with me. I'll have my Switch with me. You know, we can, race some Mario Kart, play Smash, whatever, while I'm standing in line. So, hopefully see somebody there. It'd be pretty rad. I played a lot of Smash this week. This week's been kind of a weird week for me as far as with work and everything, and so I was forced to spend a lot of time playing Smash on my DS, right? And I know in the past few weeks, talking about like practicing and things like that, like I even mentioned last episode, like, hey, go and get a Wii U or a Wii and get Brawl, just so that you can plug a GameCube controller in and start practicing with that, right? And a handful of people are saying that Ultimate is fast Brawl, right? So you may even be getting a little better practice playing Brawl than playing like Smash 4 or whatever. I had to force myself, because I said last week, like, go figure out a way to get yourself a GameCube controller. Like, I just forced myself to get used to the buttons, to get the muscle memory, and it helped quite a bit. And it's got me to the point that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to easily bounce between the GameCube controller and the Switch handheld so that I can play whenever I need to, whenever I want to be practicing. Because that's the beauty of the Switch, right? Because at first I was kind of like, man, when I went back to the DS to play Smash, I'm like, this is not good. But I'm actually excited to have the DS with me tomorrow to be playing in line and then go and play with the Pro Controller, because the button layout's going to be very, very similar. So, speaking of button layout,
yes,
I've run into some issues with my current layout. Right now, I have shield on left trigger and grab on right trigger. And what I'm finding, if I want to be able to dash and instantly spot dodge, it's actually fairly tricky trying to do that many motions with just one hand. And if I move shield over to my right side and grab to my left, I think it might actually benefit me. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, but I think at the end of the day, I'm going to benefit from mixing things up a bit. I'm surprised that I'm saying this, but I spent a good portion of the week watching videos. Especially, like, if you play Mario, like, I love Zero's video on Mario. Like, I would just put it on at work and just listen to it. Just listen. Like, and I would start it up. It's almost 20 minutes long, and I would just listen and try to take stuff in. And then when I got home from work, I would practice some of the stuff that he was talking about. And sure enough, being able to dash into a spot dodge, it's fairly. I found I could do it much faster if I didn't have the shield tied to my left finger, so that my thumb could just move on the stick, and then I could shield with another finger, or the other hand even. So I'm going to mix it up. I know you mixed it up a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago even, like after playing with a friend. Everybody's going to find something different that works for them. I think, like, I wonder how many people really play the same way. And then especially today, seeing that person play with the Wii remote and nunchuck, it's kind of like, you kind of got to find what you like best and just go for it. I don't think there's a best way, you know. I think it's kind of the best way for you is kind of what I'm gathering. So
yeah, because I know like Mr. Corrad Luigi from the Discord, I know he switches A and B. So he uses his regular just smash attacks with B instead of special attacks. So that's what he does. A little bit different. And I was talking to you this morning when you were practicing Smash, and I have multiple options for grab just if it's available to me. I believe, I need to double check, but I think I have one on one of the triggers. But then I also have X as a grab as well. And I know you use X for jump as well. But if Y is not being used and it's just there, you could also map Y to be a grab as well for you. Mm-hmm. And I was playing around a little bit this morning on break at work with my DS, and I was trying to figure out if I could map those buttons, which you can move stuff around, but you can't. What is set in the DS menu, you can just swap it. You can't, if something is already, so jump has multiple options for jump on the DS pad, but I wanted to add an extra grab option and omit one of the jump functions, and I couldn't. So it's not as customizable as I was hoping it was going to be, as it is on the Wii U and what we're expecting to be for Ultimate.
I see. I got you. Yeah, so I'm just going to swap my shield and my grab and see if that helps. You know, but I know I'm going to be missing stuff for a while until I get used to it. But I've had a pretty good week. Jumping into For Glory, playing with some people in Discord. It's been again every week I'm just learning. I'm learning, you know, and I know what my problems are with this game. I know that my bad habit is jumping, right? Like that's my worst habit. Like I especially when I'm streaming and I'm trying to talk with chat, like I default just to kind of jumping around the stage and trying to land back airs and that kind of stuff. And I just get punished the whole time. I look and I'm like, wow, look at this. I'm at 119% and they're at 26, you know? And so I forced myself the last few days. Yeah. And then double jumping off the stage. Like I hit that button fast and I don't even realize I'm doing it. But I forced myself the last few, like yesterday or this morning, to just stay on the ground more, just focus on staying on the ground and closing that distance, trying to get those grabs, trying to get those jabs. And I feel like overall I was doing better. I'm playing against people that are far, far past my level. Like there's no doubt about it. I actually love it in For Glory when I can play somebody for numerous matches, because the first match is me kind of figuring out their play style. Like I'm not proficient enough in this game yet that I'm like, oh, I can see what they're doing and pick up their patterns and just, you know, attack those patterns. Like I'm a little more methodical with it and like, okay, I can see they're doing that. I can do this. And then by the second or third match, all of a sudden it's not the same as the first match. You know, I'm able to pick it apart. But we played with a guy last night, Leo. He's new from the Discord. Shout out to Leo with his Toon Link.
Yep.
And that guy, his main focus was spacing. Like, and I have a video in the show notes that you guys really should watch. Even if you're not able to play Smash right now, if you just want to start watching some things to kind of start getting in the mentality for it, this video is great. And spacing is all about setting yourself up to be able to anticipate what's going to be happening, like what you think your opponent's going to be doing, and then reacting to it, or spacing yourself out to set up your next move. So for instance, with Mario, I could do a short hop while throwing a fireball. If it connects, I can then land another attack. I can follow up with another attack right away. If they shield, I can immediately grab, and then I'm still in control either way, right? But I have to be the perfect distance for that to happen. If they're dashing towards me and I jump and throw a fireball over the top of them, I'm getting punished for that, right? And that's kind of what this video gets into. And this is the kind of stuff I've said it on the show before, but I am an aggressive gamer when it comes to fighting games, shooters. Like, I will go in and hopefully have enough skill to be able to win. And when you play against your friends, you play against the people in your neighborhood, whatever, that kind of stuff, that can work. Like, that worked all the time. My aggressive play style kept me at the top of the neighborhood leaderboard, right? But once you get online, once you start playing with people all over the place, like, that doesn't fly anymore. It becomes more of a chess match. And I mean, even our matches, Crawler, have been like completely different than they've ever been. We both had 2 just incredible kills this week. You had thrown your pike into the side of the stage, and I just jumped up and spiked you right to your death while you were in that animation.
While I was holding the pike, and then inversely, you were coming back to the stage, and I just did turnaround pike to just stick and be ready for you once you got back up. And it happened just to go enough through the stage right there at the ledge, and it just spiked you sideways off to your death.
Yeah. The matches are becoming far more of a dance than just the chaotic running past each other, sliding, and we both grabbed thin air. You know? Yep. Because there was so much of that when we first started.
We started having fun a little bit last night with I was playing a little bit as Falcon. You were trying to spike, and then I was trying to down kick spike you as well as we were going back and forth. I don't think on that match either of us landed anything that spiked, but it was pretty fun to dance around doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. But so kind of back to the spacing, Leo and his Toon Link. It was taking me forever to figure out a way to close the distance with Mario, to be able to get in, and because it's a barrage of boomerangs, arrows, and bombs. And every time I would start to run to get close, he would jump above me and throw a bomb straight down. I'm like, this, there was a few times I spot dodged that and then could move, but then I was getting hit with a boomerang again almost immediately. And it was like,
and that gets punished by an up smash usually.
Yeah, it was crazy. I hadn't run into anybody playing that kind of play style before, but I mean, at the same time, for me, when I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, okay, how can I immediately go into problem solving mode, like, how can I attack this? How can I close the distance? So I'm excited to get into more matches with him, honestly, and be like, okay, I'm going to try this. And it's not going to take too long. And eventually we're going to start, it's going to be a little more of a dance, but right now he's dancing circles around me. Like, he's just dancing circles around me. So that the main point for today, as far as like for practicing and that kind of stuff, spacing is key. And it's really, it's where you start your match. It's where, like, the neutral game is what we're talking about here, but spacing is where it starts. All of this stuff, it just happens with time too. It happens with time. The more you play the game, the more you see the game played, the more you can anticipate and see what's going to be coming next, what the move sets are offered by these players, that kind of thing.
Speaking of that, you had an interesting breakthrough that you kind of you're going to change up how you do your morning kind of warm up a little bit, right? Instead of going up against just a random character that's not moving too much, you're just going to go in and face a computer match and have it on random, so it's not you selecting it, but it's the computer that's doing it, and you're going to see that wide range of moves. And if you keep it on computer level 9 or 8, it's going to be fairly competitive moveset coming at you, that what the game knows the character can do.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like, I've bumped up the difficulty of the bot, like to 7, 8, or 9. And it used to be like I would just get completely schooled, right? Like, completely schooled. And the level 9 bot cheats. Everybody says the bot cheats, and so
the difference between 8 and 9 is quite considerable.
Right. But now what's crazy is going in and fighting that level 9 bot. I can still get hits in. I can still anticipate somewhat what it's doing. Not that I'm necessarily beating it every time, but the point is, it's not like it was before when I would fight the level 9 bot, where it was like I couldn't even get like 50% damage or whatever. Now it's like, no, I can get in and get my grab, do some do some damage, that kind of thing, and get back out. And that's part of this whole spacing thing too, is like get in, do some damage, and back out. Like, don't be afraid. And we're going to talk about other things like baiting and things like that, where it's like you're trying to get them to fall into, like, get them to play your game versus just playing their game all the time. And when that happens, you can just stay above in percents. And so we were watching Big House today, and we were watching a Mario and a Toon Link go at it, and we were both kind of just like sitting back going, there's no big combos happening here. They are literally just chipping away at each other. It was just like fireball, jab, get back,
arrow, bomb, boomerang.
Yeah. And then closing the gap, another fireball, another couple jabs, maybe a down throw. There was not any major combos taking place. It was just chipping away at each other's percentage, and then getting in and getting that smash to finish him off. And I think we were both. I mean, what was funny is we were watching it at the same time, and I think we both kind of were like, you notice what's happening here? Like we were kind of like picked up on it at the exact same time. Like this is a little different game. Like it was less chaotic. It was more just like everything was pretty intentional, and you could tell they were trying to read what the other person was doing. And since Kroll and I play together so often, if I know when he's going to start to do a counter, or at least try, and so now he's delaying it, and then I'm trying to delay my move even more, and we end up having these little chess matches. But it's Mr. Cool Red Luigi says that's how he likes to play, and I've watched him play. Like when we do like 4-player stuff, like he'll just chill. He'll just chill. Where I'm like hopping around, just
like throwing that boomerang out, throwing it out.
Yeah. So, so it's got me thinking, and it's got me kind of like reevaluating, like, okay, how am I going to attack my play style? What am I going to continue to change about it? Cause you want, like, I had somebody in chat, they were like, bro, you just jump too much. Like, you've got a lot of good fundamentals down, but you're jumping way too much. And the guy said, I have the same habit. I had the same bad habit where I just jumped too much and then double jump too much. And so I'm just trying to keep my feet planted and utilize that short hop, get my back airs in, and just, the other thing too, when I watch Zero's video about Mario, just the way he moves Mario across the stage, I'm like, I don't even feel like we're playing the same game. When I watch it, I don't even feel like it's the same game. He can move so quickly. So, I don't know. I've talked an awful lot. Like, how's your week been? Has there been any kind of breakthroughs for you? Or?
I mean, we had some good matches back and forth. I think we played on Wednesday and last night, so Wednesday and Thursday. I think on both those nights, possibly. I was down here playing a little bit of For Glory as well. And those are so hit or miss sometimes too. It just the skill that we're going against is Kirby Geek from Discord will say, it's just the nerds left playing. So they're really good at what they do. And we were talking before we started the show here. I feel like the preparation that we're putting in right now for being as casual as we are before this new game comes out, that we are putting ourselves into a situation that we might be in that top 50 to 60% of the player base. We're going to kind of rise up with what we've been playing with, and there's going to be a giant influx of new players that will maybe not see as challenging, but hopefully that skill gap will rise as we improve, and then as the community as a whole improves.
You mean we might actually win some matches in For Glory?
Hopefully.
Is that what you're saying?
Hopefully.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, every now and again, like I will go against somebody that is a very similar skill, but most of the time, everybody I'm playing has been playing this. It's probably the only game, it's probably the only game they have on the Wii U. I mean, which is cool. Like I have this. Somebody mentioned it this morning when I was playing Mega Man 11. Like, how they want to know, like, how do you laugh when you have to face this frustrating stuff?
Well, you're a glutton for punishment as well. You turned it up to superhero or whatever it was, and you were playing Wolfenstein on the hardest difficulty and Doom on the hardest difficulty. You just want to have you just want to die on stream, I guess.
I guess so, but it takes a lot for me to to get tilted and be like, oh, I can't deal with this. So I don't mind that I'm constantly losing, because I feel as I'm losing, I'm constantly learning. Right? Like, I can, without having to like record myself and go back and watch, I can go, oh, I know that's why I died right there. I did something dumb right there.
I get more frustrated with myself than the opponent I'm facing. And probably on stream, I probably have the sound of my controller being thrown on. I was like, oh, I'm dead. And just like that disgust of dying, and then the vibration on the table and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's there, but I'm more upset with how I played. I either attack shield, or I jumped too much, or I just didn't think about my moves as they were coming out. So it's as much as you beating yourself as them beating you as well.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing I wanted to bring up, and we'll end on this, but like this, and I said it a little bit ago, but this game just takes time. Like, fighting games just take time. Like, I played Dragon Ball Fighter Z today. Yeah, I could throw out some combos and stuff, but that's the way that game's designed. Like, what are the true combos in that game that you can pull out, you know? And so I know, again, just kind of addressing some people's concern, like how, like, I don't want to suck at this game. You're gonna suck at this game, right? So do what you're gonna need to do to have fun with this game. I enjoy the learning process of getting beat down, so that's still fun for me, even though I'm not winning. If you can have fun with Smash without having to win, you're gonna be able to play it for a much longer time. If you need to win and you want to be able to have fun, then play in the regular matches, party mode with items, you know, like that kind of stuff, because don't get frustrated. Like, it's still just a video game. Like play it for fun. But like Crawler and I, we both want to end up checking out locals and getting more involved in the scene. So that's the way we are playing right now, because that's the goal we have for this game. Right.
Yeah.
So,
and we've been kind of playing this game with a renewed purpose for a little over 6 months now, and we're still getting stomped in For Glory. So there's still plenty of room for us to improve, and we've come leaps and bounds from where we started 6 months ago.
Yeah, but it just takes time. It's going to take time. So when Ultimate drops and you're finally getting back into Smash for the first time, like, just expect to get beat down when you go into For Glory, but look for the areas that you can see improvement in, and look at every opportunity as just a way to continue to improve yourself. And I think you'll be able to find some fun there. So that's going to do it for this episode. Crawler, where can we find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in Josh's Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Also occasionally streaming on Twitch, Nightcrawler724 on Twitch. Nightcrawler's without the E, and then the same on Twitter. Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawler without the E.
Right on, man. You guys can follow me on Twitter at N64Josh. The music you're hearing right now is the Metal Melee theme. You can check out the video for this song. The guy just shreds on guitar. N64Josh.com/Metal Melee. It takes you right to YouTube. You want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OPC. You can go to you go to N64Josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. Remember, in the show notes, which you can find at N64Josh.com/SBC29, I have all kinds of Smash resources, like how to get good, Smashboard's beginner guide, Eurogamer's beginner guide. Like, there's a lot of resources right in the notes if you want to be able to improve. So make sure to go check those out. Of course, you can just do some Googling yourself and find whatever you need. But I have a good list of links right here in the notes. We are still planning some tournaments. I'm going to get some stuff. I'm going to talk with Crawler more. We're going to get some dates nailed down. We are going to do a Wii U and a 3DS tournament before Ultimate comes out, and I do want to maybe kind of do these weekly tournaments live on my channel. So we just gotta get the details worked out. So stay tuned for that. We'll have more details next week. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you can rate and review on iTunes, I'd greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later.